Hey Yins, how are you doing today? Happy Sunday. It is Sunday, November. It's not November yet. I'm like skipping through an entire month. Happy October 2nd. No, it is October 3rd. Yesterday was October 2nd. I'm just completely lost in my days of the month and days of the week. It is October 3rd, 2021. It is Sunday. It is afternoon here in New Jersey, and it is a beautiful, sunny, kind of fall day, but it's really more feeling like summer because we're getting a little bit of a heat wave. I don't want to say heat wave. It is a beautiful, warm day here as before we go back into fall type of weather here. We had a nice, cool week, and we're having a warm weekend, and I think it's going to start going back into the fall-ish weather. I like my summer weather, but I'm not minding the cooler temperatures because I can have the windows open. I don't have to be running the air conditioning. However, if you're following me on Instagram, you know of my struggles with the fall. The critters are trying to get into the house. So last night I posted on Instagram a video of ants in my plants every year, and I thought I had evaded it this year with all of my massive on top of things, but for some reason they're just coming in later this year than last year. Last year I had if you remember, if you were with me last year, and I had a story about ants in my one orchid, and I had a big infestation. I went to water my orchid one day, and then all of a sudden, about 15 minutes later, I had a big black blob on my wall. And it was ants coming out of the orchid because I flooded their home, apparently. Yesterday, I discovered a trail of ants going into that same orchid. Now, last year, I had repotted that orchid. I replaced the orchid bark. And there's a lanternfly walking up the wall outside. Uno momento. All right, had to kill that lanternfly because if you're following stories of the lanternflies, they are not good for the environment. They are an invasive species here in the United States in the Northeast, and they are all over New Jersey. And so I wanted to make sure I took care of that one lanternfly. Anyways, so needless to say, for some reason they are attracted to that one orchid every single year. It's the same exact orchid in the same pot. So currently it is taking a bath in my bathtub so I can kill off, and I know ants float, but I flooded the pot to get the ants up out of the orchid bark, and then I sprayed it with Windex, as somebody said on the Instagram post that they instantly die from the Windex. So that's what I did, and since I figured that is less toxic to the orchid than Raid, which is what I did last year. And so then I am going to once I get everything flushed out of the orchid bark as much as possible so I don't have ants crawling all over me, I will repot the orchid with fresh bark. And then I'm going to have to make sure I clean up all of the ants that are crawling all over the dining room. Well, not all over the dining room, just that one streamline down the stand to wherever they're coming in from outside. Now, I've already sprayed that whole line with Windex to kill off whatever ants are currently there, which is helping, and then I will go ahead and clean up the remains. But this isn't every year thing. Luckily, I don't have ants in the rest of the house. It's just right there in that one orchid. it's, part of the fall and critters trying to get into your home and things like that. My one friend has grasshoppers not grasshoppers, crickets that get into his home every year. And oh well. So the other thing I posted on Instagram this past weekend was the fact that my Halloween decorations are complete. Technically, I don't really decorate for Halloween. I'm not a Halloween person. But I had a massive spider web on my balcony in between two of my plants. And it was a pretty big spider. He's not there anymore. I think the wind knocked down the spider web from the breeze that we had over the weekend. And so when I have spiders and stuff on the balcony with the plants, I let them be because it's a natural part of having plants and gardening, and they don't bother me as long if they're outside. If they're inside, I do kill the bugs, but outside, it's just part of gardening and having plants. So I let them be. They're a natural defense against other insects and things that you don't really want around your house. So I don't mind having them. Of course, whenever I bring the plants in, I will spray everything down with insecticidal soap and make sure that everything is cleaned off because I don't want to bring any kind of invasive insects into the home with the plants that are already in my home. So I don't have any plants to show you today because of the situation that's going on with my plants at the moment. I just didn't take the time to gather up any plants. So we will forego the plant of the week and we'll save that for next time. So let's go ahead and get right on into the cross stitch. All right, so the very first thing I have a fully finished item. So if you've been following me for the last couple months, so August and September. In August, I started a project for my mom, and that was the By the Bay needle art in my father's home, in my father's house. And so I finished that in September. And was it September I finished that? September, I think it was in September. Maybe it was August. And I have now fully finished that with framing. So I bought that frame back in a couple weeks ago. And yesterday I decided to go ahead and get up and yesterday being Saturday morning, I've been kind of putting off because I'm not a fan of framing. I do it, but I'm just not. I'm not a fan of finishing cross stitch. It's time consuming, and I'm not. While I can do it, it's not my favorite thing in the world to do, and I don't feel like I'm great at it. So I went ahead and did it. And here is the finished piece. So this is a Hobby Lobby 11 by 14 inch frame. It is fairly well centered in the piece, even though it doesn't necessarily look like it. I did center it. So I framed it without the glass. I did go ahead and take the glass out, and I placed some batting behind the cross stitch, which is the very first time I've ever framed something without glass and using batting. So that was a learning curve for me. The other thing is, while it doesn't, for me, it doesn't look like it's center or it's even here. It actually is. So I'm wondering if that's just it might be the way that the fabric is dyed, but it's actually the same distance from here to here as it is from here to here with the for the H's. So I'm thinking it's just the way that the fabric is dyed, and so it's maybe an optical illusion. The only thing that is not perfectly center is left to right. I did accidentally leave a little bit too much fabric over here compared to over here. But I think it looks great. I'm very happy with it. I've already shown it to my mom, and she's very pleased with the finished piece. I think the piece looks great in this. No, Joanne, I do not want to come and buy things at your store today. Thank you. I think the frame was a great choice for this design, and I'm very pleased with how it looks. So there we go. This is In My Father's House by the Bay Needle Art, and absolutely love it. I love her designs. I have two more that two of her landscapes that I've already have kitted up and ready to go. Could be another start here in the near future for one of them. So there we go. That is my finish, and I just used the back of the thing so she can hang it up easily. So By the Bay Needle Art in my father's house. Then I have a finish. So actually, shortly after I filmed, I think I filmed about a week and a half ago, was the last time I filmed. It was a Wednesday morning. And I was working on Long Dog Sampler's Le Jardin de Plaisir. And so I finished this the following Sunday. So I was trying to knock out this as a finish by October, and I actually finished this in September. So I'm very happy about that. And here is my finish. Now, this is not ironed. I did not iron this. So bear with me, as it was sitting in the project bag. I pulled it off the Q-snap and folded it up and put it in the project bag. So here we go. Off the Q-snap into the project bag, but it is a fully finished. Let me put it behind let me put something behind it so we have a little bit more stability. There we go. This is Le Jardin de Plaisir on 36 count. 36 count patina by Color and Cotton Fabric, or Color and Cotton. I feel like it's not. There we go. And this is, so 36 count, 1/2. Using my own color conversion. So the original colors are Gentle Arts Raven, Banker's Gray, and Buckeye Scarlet. So it's more of a red and gray black. And I went with a red, brown, and cream. So, and I used DMC. So the red is 3777. The brown is 3857, which I know you can't really read that. And the cream is 3866. And I use, for only using one strand of floss, I use quite a bit of floss on this piece. But there we are. That is a fully finished. It's about 12.5 inches square on the 36 count. And this reinforces why I'm not a fan of mandalas. So while I love things like this, I love the look of them, I'm not a fan of stitching them. I think I just get tired of stitching the same thing over and over and over again. So so I don't know why I wanted to stitch this, because when I first got into cross stitch, I had stitched the the New York ink circles, and I got tired of stitching that 4 times over. So I don't know, but I love this. I think this is going to look great here in my dining room, or with my plants. But it's the same thing 4 times. And some of these motifs are the exact same thing 8 times, like these berries. You have to stitch it 8 times over. They might be in the different direction, but it's still the exact same thing. So why would I want to do this 8 times? So more power to you all who like to do the same thing or stitch those mandalas all the time, because it's not my type of thing. Even though I love all those mandalas that Ink Circles and other companies make. I just don't know if I could. It's not something that I like doing all that often. So there we go. Le Jardin de Plaisir. In the books. All right, so I'm going to put that away for now, even though now that I've shown that to you, I can go ahead and put all that away and put the project into my closet of, we'll have to frame at some point in the future. After that, I went ahead and pulled out, I wasn't sure what I wanted to work on, because here's the thing, I'm trying to really whittle down my projects. I feel like I have too many projects on the go, and I have some really old projects that I need to knock out. But they're all so massive. So I went ahead and pulled out, of course, I pulled out one that's fairly new, La Foresta di Fons by Renato Perlin. And I thought I would work on this for a little bit. So I was working on, this is 56 count light mandarin, I think, by XJU Designs, 56 count linen XJU Designs. And this is using, where's the floss? DMC 938. And this is, I'm using 1 strand over 2 on the 56 count. And so the only thing I did was I did this little pine tree and the rabbit and this little bit of groundwork. So I worked about maybe 1 night on this. And then I was like, I don't want to work on this. But I did get a little bit more done on this. And the reason I didn't want to work on this is because I'm on a page break, and the next big tree is on a page break, and I just did not have the brain power, the brain width to do that. So I decided to put this away. But that's where we are so far. So I think I have, where am I at? I have 5 more trees to go before I get to the edge of this project. So that's where we are so far on that. So I worked on this for about 1 night last week. This one is not one that I'm really focused on finishing. It's just something that I'm working on every once in a while. I just want to continue working on it as, just pull it out here and there. Knock out, what I like to do with it is just knock out a tree and then put it away, whatever. So that is La Foresta di Fons. And then then I decided that one that I would definitely like to knock out before the end. I would like to finish this year is my Riolis Red Panda. And there is some glare just because it's in the plastic. So this is Riolis Red Panda. It's number 1627 in their series. And this is on 14 count, like a blue-gray Ada, using their wool acrylic flosses. So the majority of the stitches are two strands of the wool acrylic over the one block of the 14 count. And a lot of this design is blended colors, so you'll use two different colors of the wool acrylics. The majority of the time I've been working on using the greens and the grays. I've been trying to hold off on touching any of the red colors, red and yellows, because that's my favorite colors, and I want to get rid of, try to stitch up all of the colors that are not my favorite first. But I'm now getting to the point where I needed to start using, I'm trying to get this one corner of the piece done. So I've made some pretty significant progress on this. So here it is now. And so I actually moved it in the Q-snap so I can get this bottom corner. Move it over here so I'm not looking at it. And so here I was only working on the bottom. I started in the center, and so the panda is actually the center of the design, and so I moved the Q-snap so I could actually get to this bottom corner of the piece. So as you can see, there is a ton of green work of that bamboo, the leaves there. And I think I have all of the green, all of the leaves done over here, all the way up through here and in here. The only green at the bottom I have left to do is this part right here on the other side of his tail. So all of the green is done. And so now I'm starting to put in the branch that comes down through here. And so I started to do some of the red there. And I am thrilled with how much this is coming along. So I'm not sure if I'm going to continue working on this for a while until I get this bottom corner done, or if I'm going to put this away and maybe move on to something else for a little bit. However, I'm trying to get this project finished by the end of the year. That would be my goal. Once this is done, this is going to be framed and hung up in my office with the other three Reolist kits that I have hanging in my office at work. I have the owl, the snowy owl, and the hedgehogs with legionberries. So I have, and those sit behind me, behind my desk they hang behind my desk at work. So this will be added to that wall, and so I want to get this framed up and hung there at work. So I'm really happy with how this is coming along. And it stitches up fast, so if you're ever interested in trying one of these Reolist kits, I highly recommend them. I love stitching them. You just have to be in the mood with working on with you have to get into the habit of working with the wool acrylic flosses, because they are a different feel than any kind of cotton floss. So with that is all of my progress that I've made so far. I did do a little bit of knitting, but nothing significant for me to show you. I've just been working on some dishcloths. And so the only thing, I don't know what, I have no plans. I'm just going to stitch with what I feel like stitching on. It could be the panda, or I do want to take an evaluation of what projects I have on that's already started, and see where I want to move on to, and try to knock out some stuff that maybe I haven't really touched in the recent months. I know I have London, I have my Haid, I have Harbor Lights, I have a couple, I have my my British Isles map. So I have a few pieces that I really want to pull out and work on and that I just haven't touched in a while. So we'll see where we go in the next week and what I feel like touching. I may just become a monogamous stitcher and work on this until completion. We'll see. I don't know. But with that, because I'm really enjoying my Realist kit and stitching on that, I do have one to give away. This was gifted to me as a gift to give to you guys. So if you're interested in trying a Realist kit and you have never had a chance to do so, or if you're just really interested in getting your hands on this red fox, here is your chance of putting your name in for the giveaway of a Realist red fox. I guess this is considered a red fox. That's what we're going to call it. So, and this would be perfect time for some winter stitching since it's a snowy scene here. So, what I would like to know is, what is your favorite animal? And why? So it could be a red fox. It could be any kind of indoor or outdoor animal. And so what I would like for you to do is put it in the comment section below. Please do not say giveaway. Just in the comment section below. What is your favorite animal? It could be indoor, outdoor. It could be from your region. It could be from a different region of the world. Whatever. It could be an ant, which any kind of living creature. What is your favorite animal and why? And you will be entered for a chance to win your the Realist kit. That comes with a dark gray, bluish 14 count Ada, along with all of the colors there of, this is a wool acrylic floss, just like I was showing you for my kit. And it looks like 26 colors of the wool acrylic floss. Never been opened, so there you go. So you have a chance. I'm going to pull this in roughly 2 videos. So not the next video, but the video after that. So it could be roughly 2 weeks before. Actually, it's not going to be 2 weeks, so you have about 3 weeks before I film again. So there you go. There is your chance to win the red fox. Until the next time I film, which will probably be next week, hopefully, fingers crossed, knock on wood. I hope you all have a wonderful week and enjoy your stitching or crafting, gardening, whatever that may be. I know I'm going to I have some plants outside that I need to clean up and get ready for winter. I have some of my annuals that I need to throw away that have just seen better days. And I'm going to start cleaning up my plants to be bringing in soon since we've had some nights in the 40s. So until I see you again, happy stitching, happy crafting, happy gardening, happy cooking. And as always, don't forget to always be creative.